Hello guys, Showy here playing Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. I have no idea what this game goes about, but it's apparently some sort of graphic novel, maybe? I don't think there is any real gameplay, except for reading text. However, I'm very interested in the lore of Vampire the Masquerade. I remember I played the first game, even though I didn't play the second one, which was the best one, so yeah. Let's try it. Also, why is this lady eating an apple? Can vampires eat food now? Huh? Okay, let's go. I have three save slots, so I'm gonna go with the first one, of course. Choose your clan. Oh, how many do I have? Just 3, I guess. Okay. The first one is Bruja, the rebel the rebel against power and rage against authority. A seemingly insignificant man with significant ideas will join their ranks tonight. Ventru. Oh, these are the ones who are like wizards, right? The aristocratic blue bloods embody wealth, sovereignty, and control. A top-level corporate executive will join the ranks tonight. And then Toreador. The divas seek thrill of art, romance, and cruelty amidst stagnant and death. A tormented artist will join the ranks tonight. I'm gonna go with Ventru. Amanda. I am gonna be. Let me think. My name is gonna wait. What? Can I not write? Yeah. I'm gonna be Ayn Rand. Okay, I can only go like that. Okay. New York taught me to believe in fate. Oh yeah, I put the text in the very big font, so yeah. Okay, that was a bad idea to put such a big font because now I cannot read everything. let me see if I can change it. Text font, medium. Alright. Had you asked me about fate back when I was a human, I would have told you it's just superstitious bullshit. That we are all designers of our own destinies. This is too big even. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face you could have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. Alright? It happened in the very same place you're standing in right now, by the way. Fate? You decide. Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen a little longer. See, my mistake was that I flew too close to the sun. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see its glow again. I was incandescent myself. I was hot shit. I had it all: money, looks, confidence, connections, men, women, a career, and a spark in my eye, the one you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of the light erupting from within and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided that would fit me much better. She was a 9th generation kindred just like you, an apex predator. She probably enjoyed teaching me, the peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. It's such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggart and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about fate. A message saying, you're eternally doomed to be at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom, it was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me just her amusing subject. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right here, right where she stood when we first met. Oh, so basically she killed her, huh? You may have wondered how I've learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. My answer is, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving you here straight from the plane and having you wake up in such an unfamiliar place was little desperate, and I do apologize for it. But it is so rare for you to visit New York. 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you are here. I understand you still have that meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much, don't get me wrong. But it is precisely because I value it that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I trust to do the job well, and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy, asking you to breach the rules of our society like this. You might think it's impossible to get away with it unpunished. But this is New York, and I don't know about other cities, but in this one, fate really exists. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. This is how it begins. Your phone rings. It's your boss, again. The setting sun that filled your high-rise office an hour ago is gone. The city looks like an ocean of light from up here, spreading for miles to the north. You pick up. You were about to call it a day, forget about the world of fintech, and decompress at home. No dice. One of the investors wants to meet you. His voice, as always, a perfect mix of authority and sleaze. He'll come by your office in an hour. You look at the clock. An hour? He's gotta be kidding. Yeah, I know, but stick around. He's a heavyweight. You'll want to make a good impression. Fine. You grit your teeth a little. The boss hangs up. 2 hours. Might as well pour another coffee into yourself and figure out how to best use this to your advantage. You suspect everyone knows that no, you are actually not happy with your current position. That in fact, you feel squished against the glass ceiling that comes with the territory. Sure, your idiot supervisor might have gotten the job only because he's the CEO's golfing buddy, but you're going to put an unholy amount of work into your advancement. Times where you'd laugh off the idea of staying at the office until 9 PM. You had a partner to go home to, the nightly Netflix and chill ritual to perform, complete with pizza and Chinese takeout. Ever since you moved up the ladder though, your hours have only gotten longer. Food? Mostly at the company cafeteria, sometimes takeout, always in a rush. You praise the heavens for your crazy metabolism and dread the day it finally decides to give up. Rest? At this point, the cleaning lady who takes care of your apartment probably spends more time in your bedroom than you do. You flash back to your boss quoting Shakespeare to impress his new, extremely attractive and uncomfortably young secretary. For some must watch while some must sleep. So runs the world away. Drinks? Mostly with colleagues, and they all pretty much hate you at this point. Another flashback, this time to the most profitable quarter in the company's history. Still, the board decided that layoffs were in order. Your boss didn't feel like letting people know in person, so he passed that privilege on to you. Gotta hand it to him, He always knew how to pick his battles. But maybe, just maybe, tonight is the night it's all going to change. You decide to play the good looks angle, nothing too slutty. You leave your blouse slightly unbuttoned. Check if your ass looks as good as you remembered in your pencil skirt. Miro says yes. It's not something you're proud of, but you've become too jaded to care. Knowing your luck, the investor is going to be one of two types. A self-obsessed Musk wannabe in his 20s, or a fat old pervert drenched in cologne. You hear the elevator ding. Time to get this shot on the road. You take one final look in the mirror and fix your hair as the footsteps echo across the empty hallway. The man who approaches your office is not what you expected. He's slick to be sure, but he seems a bit more refined than your usual company man. Expensive suit, matching tie and shirt, confident in his stride, surprisingly good looking. Good evening. I hope this unforeseen visit isn't too much of an inconvenience. He looks kinda dead though. God, that voice. You're taken aback by how smooth and strong it is, and his eyes still blue, cold, intense. Yeah, I think that my impression of him didn't give credit to this. He's all business, professional, treats you in a manner that's appropriate to your stature. When he speaks, he actually looks you in the eye and not at your cleavage. He asks some questions about your work, tells you how he noticed your input after talking to the CEO, after golfing another golfing buddy, and comes charmingly close to calling your boss an incompetent doofus. All the while, you try to guess his accent, but can't quite place it. European, sure, but where from? I know I've kept you long enough, but would you indulge me and join me for a drink? Of course, for a minute there it seemed like he wasn't that kind of guy. But what the hell, you go with it. He seems nice enough. Besides, it's not like you have other plans. The investor has a limo waiting downstairs, and the driver takes you to a high-end restaurant in Williamsburg. A seat is waiting for you in the deluxe lounge. It's just the two of you. You talk about this and that. Your companion seems to have a knack for history. So, tell me, what would you do if you had full control of the company? You almost choke on your wine. This is your chance. You said what's been on your mind for months, but hide it behind a veneer of professional corpo bubble. Refocusing, listening to your instinct for once, restructuring, kicking out your boss, aggressively pursuing new markets, getting the hell away from all those horrible people. He likes the sound of that. He leans forward, his eyes flash with intensity and something else, a strange emotion that wasn't there before. You'll do just fine. His words echo inside your head as you black out. You wake up, God only knows how much later. So you try to piece together what happened. You hear a familiar voice, the investor, or whoever the hell he is, talking to someone. You suddenly recall snippets, fragmented memories, his sapphire eyes intently locked with yours, his teeth suddenly longer and sharper, and something else. A feeling on your neck that takes you back to your last orgasm, a company trip to Florida, a sweaty room, a cutie from HR who doesn't work there anymore, and then darkness. Yes, I'm done here. Consider my debt paid. The investor pushes the other figure aside and walks away from the lounge, barely bothering to look at you. The door locks behind him. Some time passes before you find the strength to get up from the couch. You touch your lips. Blood. Did that asshole hit you? You try to stand, but your head is pounding and your stomach is like a heavy knot pulling you down. You didn't have that much to drink. He must have spiked your wine. This is bad. You frantically check your clothes. Pristine. Doesn't make any sense. All of a sudden, a feeling hits you unlike anything else you've ever felt before. You fall to the floor, writhing in an all-encompassing pain and hunger. The kind that makes your insides burn, that cannot be denied. You try to calm yourself down with a breathing exercise they taught you at some bullshit mindfulness course. That's when it hits you. You're not breathing. And holy shit, should your heart be jumping out of your chest with that realization? But it's not moving. Not even a beat. The door unlocks. You hear a startled voice. A young man in a waiter's outfit, his accent thick with an Eastern European harshness, leans over and asks if you're alright. For a brief moment, you wonder what the hell he's doing here. Everything is wrong. Then his smell reaches your nostrils. It's intoxicating. Everything feels right again. He holds out his arm to help you stand up. You grab it firmly with both hands and then you bite down. You sink your teeth right next to the old school pin-up tattoo of Rita Hayworth on his forearm. It takes you a moment to process what you're doing. A part of you wants to break away, but a stronger voice implores you to keep drinking. One thing becomes clear: you are definitely enjoying this. He only struggles a little and quickly falls to his knees. You can see his eyes now, pale blue and confused. You only bring yourself to let him go once he collapses onto the floor. Your bite leaves a mess on his forearm. Poor Rita, all bloodied, missing half her face. Did you just drink this guy's blood? You spit out a piece of torn flesh. That's a... Why? Where? What was in that fucking wine? Barely able to focus, your heart and your lungs still motionless, you reach for your phone and dial 911. Operator. 911 operator, what's your emergency? Oh damn, I started the game now. Okay, so... Fuck, what do I say? I will not incriminate myself. I can't breathe. Okay. Oh, look at me. I like this hair. Ayn Rand says, I can't breathe. Mom, where are you right now? The door of the lounge swings open. The man who enters is not the one who brought you here, though there are similarities. He's tall for one, broad-shouldered, handsome, dressed in an immaculate suit, but his skin is darker, and the look on his face tells you he is not here to negotiate a deal. He notices the smartphone on your hand. Pass me the phone if you want to leave, says the stranger. The man's voice is persuasive, calm, but carrying clear threat. He's got an aura of viciously efficient corporate shark. You find it hard to argue with him. Mom, hello? I apologize for wasting your time. My new colleague got drunk and is now trying to impress everyone with her antics. Good night. He disconnects the call and places your phone in his pocket. For whatever reason, you can barely take your eyes off the stranger. As hypnotizing as his presence is, though, it is also highly discomforting. Good evening, miss. I'm here to pick you up. Who are you? I am your guide through this perilous night. The stranger approaches the waiter and examines his body. Critical condition, but he might live. Anyway. He then sets his sights on you. I know this is all new to you, but I've dealt with hundreds of strays like you, and going by experience, they tend to fall into two categories. First, there are the smart ones who carefully obey my every word and don't try to pull off anything stupid. I always get them where they need to be, safe and sound. And then there are the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who tried to contact somebody secretly and without permission. The troublemakers who tried to run off or make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, most of them never reached their destination at all. His voice becomes slightly bored and monotone. You can tell he's given this speech before, likely dozens of times. So you see, while I generally consider myself pretty smart, I'm also a Mets fan. It's my one true weakness, one that inspired me to come up with 3-strike system when dealing with pups like you. If you get on my nerve once or twice, well, I understand. Not all of us perform well in stressful situations. But cross me 3 times and you're out. No excuses, no forgiveness, no mercy. As he's talking, he slowly approaches you, adding a bit of a theatrical swagger to his walk. Eventually, he leans in, deliberately invading your personal space. You realize it's a test. He's daring you to do something about it. 3 strikes, and you're out. Say, I understand, sir. Now. Every atom of your being screams for you to obey his authority. So, okay, I have 3 options. I understand, sir. Fuck you, sir. What are you even talking about? So, if I say this one, I will cross him, so that is my first strike. If I say this one, he will not be that cross, but maybe will give me more information. And if I say this one, I will progress on the game. So, what would Iron Rand say? He would say, fuck you, sir, of course. I only address my superiors as sir. Respectfully, fuck you. Strike 1. And watch your language, whelp. Moving on. Is there anyone you'd want to inform of your current situation? Tell them you're alright? He flashes his fangs briefly, and for some reason, the sight sends a shield on your spine. There is something very wrong about him. Someone closest to you? I would never surrender information like that. I prefer not to tell. You realize you have 2 honest answers at hand, and vocalizing either would make you feel ashamed. I am afraid that won't do, says the stranger. Isn't it my business if I want to inform someone or not? No, it is also my business. I asked you a question and you didn't answer. That's a strike. Okay, I have 2 strikes then. I will not lie. I'm gonna say my boss then. My boss, I suppose. The stranger squints at you. Forgive me, but am I to assume your relationship is more than professional? You immediately give him a piercing glare. No. God, no. Me and that pig? Don't be ridiculous. Huh. You said you were the closest you said he was the closest person to you. Did I? I think I said that that is the person I would like to inform, because my job is more important than my boyfriend, I guess. You asked me if I have anyone I'd like to tell I'm alright. The answer is yes, people at my office. I don't want to lose my job, so I'd prefer to let them know I didn't just go off on a bender, sorry. No family, no lover, no friends, says the stranger. Your blank stare tells him the whole story. He immediately stops prying and gives you something worse than a look of pity, a look of honest compassion. Well, that makes things simpler, but let me be crystal clear, just in case. From this point on, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up under, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure these laws are respected. You are forbidden from letting anyone know you're still alive. You are forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes looking for you, it's over for both of you. For both you and them. That practiced tone again. You put on your poker face and listen in silence. So unless you want your boss to end up at the bottom of the hot sun, I'd suggest you cooperate. Don't tempt me, says Ayn Rand. He smiles, revealing his fangs again. There's something absolutely sickening about it. Suddenly, you feel overwhelmed by a sense of exhaustion. You pass out. When you regain your senses, you find yourself in the stranger's arms. The man is holding you as you would a spouse who's had a little too much to drink. You try to break free, but he holds you close and gives you a cautioning look. Only when you cease your struggling does he let you go. Only now do you notice the change in scenery. You find yourself in a fancy lobby right next to the elevator. The place is virtually empty, save for a single concierge and some cleaning staff. Your companion gestures at the concierge as you pass, and he picks up the phone. The elevator arrives, the door opens, and the man motions towards the cabin. After you, he says. I'm gonna scream. I'm not going anywhere. Where are we going? To a safe place. That's all you need to know. Trust me, you don't want to make this difficult. Just get in. Call for help, demand to let go, step inside the elevator. I'm just going to go. Like, I don't see the point in being disobedient in this moment. Going against your instinct, you enter the cabin. The smooth jazz is playing over the speakers as the elevator starts its descent. You are dazed, panicky, but somehow locked in place. On the one hand, you find the stranger's presence oddly soothing. On the other, you can feel your body tensing up with stress. You can't help but think back to the young waiter, the dead-eyed look on his face, the confused look he gave you just before. No, it's better not to think about this. Plus, you have other things to worry about, like the fact that you're being kidnapped. The cabin door opens to the same garage you arrived at with the investor some hours ago. The man shows you a black Cadillac Escalade. I know what you're thinking, says the stranger. Getting into a car with some strange man, boy, sure seems like a dumb idea. Maybe I can make a run for it. I might be able to lose him. So, let me be perfectly clear. Your best bet is to get in, relax, and enjoy the ride. I have money, what do you want? The waiter. Do you think that waiter upstairs, is he going to be alright? Yes. You look him in the eyes and can immediately tell he's lying. Yes, of course. No more questions. Get in the car, please. Make a run for it. So this would be my third strike. So maybe I would be dead? To be honest, I would just be doing it because I would like to be disobedient, but I don't see a point in this. So I'm just gonna get in the car. It seems like the worst idea ever, but the man's made it very clear that you have no choice in the matter. What's your name? I've got friends. I already told him I have no one. Are you going to hurt me? What's your name? Can I at least know your name? You'll know it when the time is right. He takes a glance at his expensive-looking watch. Listen, you really need to quit stalling. We're on a bit of a schedule here. The sun comes up in about 2 hours, and I don't intend to be here when it does. Yeah, of course not. The sun schedule? The sun? What does it matter when the sun comes up? Oh, you really don't know, do you? Good thing I got here when I did. He opens the car door and gestures towards it. You see no point in delaying the inevitable, so you get in. The door locks behind you. The Cadillac is almost entirely dark. The side window seems light-proof. The man gets into the driving seat, starts the engine, and drives away without another word. Did I die? Depends on your definition of death. Listen, I realize you have many questions. Tomorrow you will get some answers, but tonight you need to do what I say. And right now, I need some quiet, please. You feel too confused to protest. You stay silent for the rest of the ride, even as more questions bubble up onto the surface. One of them being, did you actually kill someone tonight? I guess it means, did I actually kill someone tonight? Staring out the window, you find it hard to focus and quickly lose track of where you're headed. You can only tell that you haven't left Manhattan. Another underground parking, almost featureless, empty. The car stops and the man opens the door for you. We're here, he says. The stranger walks you to the nearby door. He opens it and motions you to get in. Go on in. Make yourself comfortable. If you get hungry again, take a look in the fridge. I'll pick you up tomorrow and you'll get your answers. Behind the door is a small room. No windows, just a simple bed and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. A small fridge is humming away in the corner, accompanied by the rattling AC fan in the wall. What should I say now? You're leaving me here? That's it. For now, at least, he says. Look, this room is your best chance of seeing another night. I realize you've been put in a problematic situation, and it's not entirely your fault. Cooperate, and you might still make it. You will learn more tomorrow, but for the time being, get in and get cozy. He gestures inside the room. I don't want to escape. Oh, this is not nice at all. You step inside. The stranger nods. Good night, he says. I would have thought that this would be a tiny bit more luxurious than it is, but yeah. He locks the door behind you. It looks very sturdy. You open the fridge. There's a single plastic bag there filled with red liquid. No label. Tomato soup? You feel sick to your stomach. Best to leave it for now. You lay down on the bed. It's a simple mattress on a metal frame. At least it's not too filthy. You think back to how this evening began. This investor. Is he friends with the dark-skinned stranger who picked you up from the restaurant? What happens now? Unable to relax, you spend an hour or so playing out various scenarios in your head. Eventually, you decide to give in and let exhaustion take over. Whatever tomorrow brings, you'd rather face it well rested. Plus, there's no way in hell your boss isn't going to notice your absence tomorrow. That and maybe some of the restaurant staff will feel a pang of conscience. Someone will notify the police. Someone will find you, right? You flash back to the waiter's tattoo, the bloody Rita Hayworth winking at you over the pale mess of a wound. You did this. You beat him, drank his blood, and it tasted good. What if you can never go home again? You are so tired. Your entire body tenses up one last time, and before you know it, you drift away into oblivion. You wake up. That in itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel quite like sleep, more like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how death feels. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna stop the video there. This game doesn't seem to have clear stops between chapters and so on. So if I keep going, probably I'm gonna make it for hours before I can stop the video. So please check my other videos, my social media. I'm gonna try to save this game and continue playing tomorrow. Anyway, see you then. Goodbye.